Hi there, it's Rob Malik. Thanks very much for clicking through to this quick recap of the BC Hydro Alliance Partners Selling Conservation Workshop. As we talked about in the workshop, there are three core reasons why people buy. Firstly, they want to relieve pains in some way, shape, or form. They want to realize some gains by relieving those pains, and further, they want to get some value by having relieved the pains and realize those gains. So very simply, in the conversational sales process, you simply need to ask your buyer a few things. First, what pains do you have? What are you facing? What are your problems and troubles? Next, we want to ask around what gains are you looking to realize by solving those problems? And finally, what specific value is it that you want to realize by fixing those things that are ailing you and realizing those gains? Further then, in the sales process, you need to show your buyer specifically how you can relieve their pains, you can help them get the gains that they're after, and finally, that you can in fact deliver that value. We had talked about the fact that fixing problems is the tip of our triangle, and really that's your ticket into a sales conversation. If you can't fix problems, you probably shouldn't be there. Realizing gains and helping your buyers in that regard will separate you from your competition, but underneath it all, if you can clearly demonstrate that you're delivering value, you'll begin to win more yeses to your quotes. We had talked about the fact that there are 5 core value drivers. The first of our value drivers is make money. Make money translates to top line sales or revenue generation, or profit, or both. For a manufacturing facility who is considering a lighting upgrade, making money may be satisfied by having fewer errors in production, which translates to more available product to sell, which translates to making money. For this same entity, saving money, which is saving money on the expense line, could be generated by having to relamp less frequently and having to pay less money for bulbs over time. The third value driver is saving time. This is minutes and hours. In our manufacturing facility example, time is saved when less relamping has to occur and less man hours are spent doing that work. The next value driver is ease or convenience. In our example of the manufacturing environment, not having to shut down production lines or having people working in off hours to do relamping is an example of how life is made easier by having a lighting upgrade. And finally, improving competitive position is the last of the value drivers, and this means impacting the health of the organization overall in a positive way for the long term. The company that embarks on a lighting upgrade scenario saves money and saves time over the long term, makes the organization healthier. Further, if they can market that they are operating in a green or a conservation type of way, that may help attract new customers as well. We talked about the way to sell using all of this knowledge is a conversational sales approach, which is a really comfortable approach to conducting a sales conversation. There are 5 components. We have the start, the spot where we ask about pains. Further, we ask about gains. Then we get into presenting our solution, and finally navigating through to agreement. A good sales interaction starts with a solid meeting agenda. You should be writing down before you go in the specific meeting outcomes that you're after, the things that you'll cover that day, and specifically what you hope to accomplish with that buyer. Sending this agenda out beforehand, if you can do it, will help set the stage for a really productive and professional sales conversation. Questions are the heart of the sales process. Questions serve to open doors to conversation for you so that you can talk about pains and gains and 5 value drivers and ensure that your sales conversation runs smoothly and has a direction. So for you, this means you need to be prepared to ask questions about the buyer's current situation. This is the who, where, when, how much, how often, and why around their current situation as it relates to lighting. Next, you need to be prepared to ask questions about the buyer's pains. Those are troubles that are ailing them due to their current lighting situation. These are things like any of the pains associated with frequent relamping, or the costs associated with doing that work, or the impact of poorly lit areas on staff or customers, or both. Next, you need to be prepared to ask questions about the buyer's desired gains, and ensure that you cover all your bases and ask questions about the obvious gains from fixing problems and the 5 reason value driver gains that come from fixing those problems. So these are questions that might ask what the work environment might be like, how it might be made better by having improved lighting, and underneath that, what value is the buyer looking to derive by improving that work environment? Is it increasing morale? Is it improving productivity, or both of which contribute to the long-term health of the organization? When you do that and you take that approach, you lessen price hesitation, and in showing that there's huge value to working with you and that it far outweighs any cost associated with switching to you or going ahead with your project, you'll in fact win more yeses to your proposals, culminating in lots more of agreement for you, winning more work. Thanks very much for attending the workshop. It was a pleasure to spend the day with you. Please check the BC Hydro Alliance Partners website for dates and times of upcoming workshops. Feel free to refer people either from your own company who did not attend this week or other people in the industry you know who may be interested. Thanks again. Bye.